would you be able to kind of walk me through that
Sure.
unit or that lesson from start to finish? What are some of the activities you do? What's some of the equipment you use? That kind of thing.
So the QB54 is really a big part of it, and because I played football, I love football, but like it's you have flag football, which is a great alternative, but I mean it's with double classes, and it's hard to. Football is not always the safest. It's also, like I said, it's a very vigorous. It's a very it doesn't always lend itself for elementary phys ed. So, but you can get like softer footballs, soft ones, little ones, bigger ones, different sizes. It actually comes with regular true, like little mini ones. But I like to use the Nerf ones, like blow up ones. There's all kinds of different ones that you can use. So, but basically, when we talk about flag football, we're kind of almost like doing and I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's kind of like I said, I try to do it because I see the students once or twice a week, and I want to kind of maximize the connection to the sport. The first unit was like a throwing game. We used the chairs, and one of my favorite games called Exercise Dice Game, which is ironic because it only used one, where they roll a dice. And the connection to that was because when we do football, we need muscular endurance, muscular strength, flexibility. And for the younger students, I always ask them, and they're always with it, like, we have to eat vegetables, we have to eat this too. And it comes out of nowhere, which is great. So like I said, all these connections. So they're really buying into it. And so the first unit is like throwing. For the little ones, it's tossing, because we're looking at the New York State and shape stand outcomes and standards. And so it's like a cardio, muscular fitness activity, using the chairs to toss it at like a low level. And I think I got like these putting, they were made for putting, but I cut a hole in them. And I think what I also did was I put them up for like a basketball, and I had them toss it into there too. So they're tossing low, they're tossing high. They're really getting used to like tossing. And that would be the first. So it's like usually a 4-week unit. And if you're familiar with the writing process, like I said, I know that might sound like, wait, what is this phys ed? Why is there a writing process? And I actually kind of adapted that because it makes it easier for me, myself, and the kids to actually understand, like, oh, this is where we are. So, and a lot of it is just like having the students like, okay, cool, this is what we did last time. How are we going to make it more difficult? So it's not just me telling them, this is what you need. They kind of like, oh, and we talk about force and power. We talk about, like I said, different concepts, different exercise movement concepts. So the students know, okay, now I need to make it a little more difficult, and I do it. And then the second time and really third time around, we kind of worked on kicking. And I would show them the bottles, and they got a big kick. Literally, they got a big kick out of that. No pun intended, actually pun intended. But so all of it was designed so that every student can do it, and they could all be successful. And the idea is that they could, no matter what, like I said before, but different types of players that they were, whether they wanted to, say, I could do this the best, I could get the most points, it was something for everyone, they all enjoy it. And then kind of when we're the culminating activity is we have like our football throwing Super Bowl, where they're working as a team and they have a scorecard. And it's not like a crazy scorecard. It's literally just like, if they think, like I said before, if they throw it in, it's 10 points. If they kick it, it's like 10 points. If it bounces off the wall, there's a 5 extra points. So we're playing football kind of true to form. I mean, it's not the tackling aspect, and it may not be. The great thing about an elementary phys ed is that you can kind of do that, and because it doesn't have to be true to form. But
so it sounds like it's almost like a modified set of. It's almost like modified football in a sense. You're talking about throwing stuff against the wall and throwing through hoops and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like a skills training. It sounds like, for football.
Oh yeah. That's what everything is. It used to be where it was like, here's the sport, this is what we're going to do. But now it's like more like, here's the skills we're going to do. If I want to run, I need to know the skills how to run. If I need to throw a ball, but these skills of throwing also can transfer to other games and sports. Baseball throwing, or even throwing garbage to. So these skills are transferable. They're not just like in isolation. So yeah, it's really about. And what the shift is, like in middle school, they're going to focus more on playing it true to form, and that's why elementary school. I personally prefer elementary school. Like you said, it's modified, we talk about the modifications because the kids are like, what's the difference? Like for bowling, like what? We don't have those machines. Like, how do we do it? Or even when we do the Winter Olympics, we're doing ice skating. How we don't have ice. So it's modified. It's like almost in ways an introduction. So you're teaching the skills so that even if they don't, if a student says, you know what, I don't want to become a tennis pro, they at least still know the skill of striking. They still can use an object. So maybe they want to play hockey, or maybe they want to do something else. So they at least are familiar with it. And in some ways, it's a great approach, because if you think about it, in the classroom, they're doing the same thing, like the same skills. I always use these examples. I'm like, if you want to get better at math, you practice reading. It helps, but it's like there's different exercises help get in different strengthened parts of the body, and it's all transferable. That's the right idea.